Members, good afternoon. Members, it is the appointed time of the House Committee meeting. We have a quorum. Members, please return to your seats and be quiet. I call the meeting to order. Item number 1, matters arising. The Chief Secretary indicated that the administration will introduce bills to implement the measures proposed in the 2025-26 budget. For example, revision of the ad valorem stamp duty tax ban and profits tax concessions, etc. The CS asked members to support the Appropriation Bill 2025 and related bills. The CS also indicated that since the session of this year is shorter, the administration will introduce more bills in the first half of the year. The administration will support the scrutiny of these bills, hoping to complete the scrutiny of all these bills before the end of the year. The CS asked policy bureaus to stay in close liaison with the Bills Committee and the Secretariat so that they can fully support the scrutiny work. Item 2, Legal Service Division reports on bills and subsidiary legislation. There are 6 bills referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54 of 4 of the Rules of Procedure. 1, Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2025, LS 19-2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you. The bill seeks to amend the stamp duty ordinance to give effect to the budget speech delivered on the 26th of February this year to adjust the ad valorem stamp duty chargeable of immovable property by raising the maximum value chargeable of $100 to $4 million. If this is endorsed, it will take effect at 11 o'clock on the 26th of February. We have asked the administration questions. They have given us a reply. Please refer to paragraph 7 and the annex. Subject to further views expressed, we have not found any difficulties in legal and drafting aspects. Members may consider to form a Bills Committee to study the policy aspect of the bill. Thank you. Members, would you like to set up a Bills Committee? If so, please raise your hands. One, Mr. Kwok Wai Keung. 2, Mr. Bill Tang. We need 3. Mr. Michael Lok, 3. I'll ask the clerk to circulate a paper to get more indications. 2, Inland Revenue Amendment Tax Concessions Bill 2025. Paper number LS 20 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you. The bill seeks to amend the Inland Revenue Ordinance to give effect to the tax concessions in the budget delivered last month. This is to provide one-off reductions of salaries tax under personal assessment and profits tax by 100%, subject to a ceiling of $1,500. Please refer to paragraphs 3 and 4. This will come into effect on a date when it's gazetted. We have not identified any difficulties in drafting and legal aspects. Members, would you like to set up a Bills Committee? If so, please raise your hands. None so far. I ask members to note that the Legal Services Division has not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. If members don't have any other views, then there will be resumption of second reading debate shortly. 3, Air Passenger Departure Tax Amendment Bill 2025, paper number LS 21 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. The bill seeks to amend the Air Passenger Departure Tax Ordinance to implement initiative in the budget delivered last month. It is to revise the tax from $120 to $200. And there is also a proposal to streamline existing arrangements to empower the FS to allow aircraft operators to retain part of the fees collected so that it will be part of their administrative fees. Please refer to paragraphs 3 to 8. This will take effect on the day when it is gazetted. In relation to the revision of the tax, it will take effect on the 1st of October. The Legal Service Division has asked questions and a reply has been submitted by the administration. Please refer to paragraph 7 and the annex. Subject to further views of the LSD, we have not identified any difficulties relating to legal and drafting aspects. Member may consider to set up a Bills Committee to study the policy of the bill. Members, would you like to set up a Bills Committee? If so, please raise your hands. Mr. Kenneth Leung, Mr. Chen Hangbang, and Canon Reverend Kun. I will ask the clerk to circulate a paper to ask for indications. For registration of titles in Land Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 2025, paper number LS 22 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. The bill seeks to amend the Lands Titles Ordinance, the Lands Registration Ordinance, and related legislations so that on new land there will be the application of the land title registration system in place of the title registration system. For new land, it means land granted on or after the commencement date of this bill. There are other matters, that is, to set up the title indefeasible principle, and adverse possession does not apply to new land. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 14. This bill will come into operation on a date to be specified. In December last year and January this year, the panels have been consulted. Members indicated their support. We're now looking into drafting and legal aspects of the bill. This is in relation to implementing the land title registration system in place of the current deeds registration system for newly granted land. I believe that members may wish to form a Bills Committee. Members, if you would like to set up a Bills Committee, please raise your hands. Mr. Tony Chen, Mr. Edward Lau, and Mr. Johnny Ng. Please record their names and circulate a paper. 5. Post-Secondary Colleges Amendment Bill 2025, paper number LS 23 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. The bill seeks to amend the Post-Secondary Colleges Ordinance and subsidiary legislation on a number of matters, which include the provision for registration and eligibility procedures, new offenses, and the information and financial information to be submitted for registration. There is also a proposal to streamline the governance structure of registered colleges to remove obsolete requirements and provide for transitional matters. Please refer to paragraphs 5 to 18. This will come into operation on a date to be appointed by the Secretary of Education. In 2021, 2022, and 2024, the panel on education was consulted. Members supported the proposal and expressed concerns. We are looking into legal and drafting aspects of the bill. This is to reform the regulatory regime of colleges. Members may consider forming a Bills Committee. Similarly, members, if you would like to set up a Bills Committee, please raise your hands. Mr. Chow Man Kwong, Mr. Professor Lau Chi Pang, and Ms. Priscilla Leung. Please record their names and get more indications if needed. 6. Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2025, paper number LS 24 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. The bill seeks to amend the road traffic ordinance and its subsidiary legislation, as well as other relevant legislations, to allow that under certain circumstances, an electronic driving license or driving instructor's license may be produced in lieu of a physical one. It is also an alternative form of bringing these licenses together. Forgery of such a license is an offense. It may be subject to a maximum fine of $10,000. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 11. This will come into operation on the 15th of September. The panel on transport was consulted. Members generally supported the proposal. We have asked questions of the administration. Please refer to paragraphs 6 and 9 as well as the annex. Subject to further views, we have not identified any legal and drafting difficulties. This is to allow drivers to show or bring electronic licenses. Members may consider setting up Bills Committee to look into it. That's my report. Thank you. In relation to this bill, members, would you like to set up a Bills Committee? If so, please raise your hands. Mr. Chen Siu-hong, Mr. Gary Zhang, and Mr. Benson Look. So we have more than 3 members. Please have their names recorded and also circulate a paper to see if more would like to join. B. 3 items of subsidiary legislation. 1. Subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 7th of March 2025, LS 25 of 2025. It covers 1 subsidiary legislation. Legal advice, please. This is Legal Notice 35 to implement an initiative in the budget, that is to waive concessions of rates subject to a maximum amount of $500. This will come into operation on the 1st of April this year. We have not identified any drafting or legal difficulties. That's the end of my report in relation to this notice. In relation to LN 35, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. For the time being, there is none. Legal advisor, the next one, please. This is the subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 14th of March 2025, paper number LS 26 of 2025. It covers 2 pieces of subsidiary legislation. The first one is LN 36 to amend the statute of the Hong Kong U to add an English degree subtitle of a bachelor's degree and add 5 new master's degrees. Please refer to paragraphs 1 and 2. This will come into operation on the 9th of May. We have not identified any drafting or legal difficulties. That's my report for LN 36. Thank you. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee to look into LN 36? If so, please raise your hands. No, please continue. Thank you. This is the last notice to be reported. This is to amend the Schedule 2 of the Employees Registration Ordinance by adding 3 training bodies and remove 2 organizations. Please refer to paragraph 6. This came into operation on the day when it was gazetted, that is the 14th of March. We have not identified any legal and drafting difficulties. That's all for LN 37. Thank you. So, LN 37, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Well, let me remind members, in relation to the 3 pieces of subsidiary legislation, the deadline for making amendments is the council meeting on the 16th of April. Item 3, business for the council meeting on the 26th of March 2025. According to the latest agenda, we have questions 5 bills for first reading and second reading, namely the Electoral Legislation Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 2025, Buildings, Energy and Efficiency Amendment Bill 2025, Electronic Health Record Sharing System Amendment Bill 2025, Supplementary Medical Professions Amendment Bill 2025, and Merchant Shipping Safe and Environmentally Sound Recycling of Ships Bill. The House Committee will, on the meeting on the 28th of March, deal with these 5 bills. Resumption of a second reading debate, that is the Court's Remote Hearing Bill. On the last meeting, that is on the 28th of February, the House Committee noted the report. Government motion. Proposed resolution under Section 13(2) of the Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation Ordinance to be moved by the Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development. In the last meeting, members agreed that there was no need to set up a subcommittee. And then 2 members' motion, namely 1 to be moved by Mr. Dennis Leung on accelerating the development of a smart government to better assist the public in integrating into the life of the GBA, and 1 to be moved by Mr. Tommy Cheung on reviewing the effectiveness of the small class teaching mode in primary and secondary schools. In addition to these 2 items, there is also the report of number 7 of 2025 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation. This will be laid on the table of the Council. There are 8 items, of which the period for amendment expires on the Council meeting on that date. No members wish to speak.
And members, please note, the next anti-chamber exchange session will be held from 9 to 10:30 a.m. on the 26th of March. It will be led by the Deputy Financial Secretary. There is an enhanced arrangement. We have already discussed the arrangements with members. Members will be divided into 2 groups based on panels. The 2 groups will be chaired by the Secretary for Development and Chairperson of the Panel on Development, as well as the Secretary for Housing and Chairperson of the Panel on Housing. The topic and scope of discussion have been uploaded on the website of LegCo. Members have been informed of it. The Secretariat will issue circulars later to inform members of the list of attending officials and members who have signed up for the session and those who will speak. Please be punctual if you have already signed up. Members who haven't are welcome to do so. Agenda item number 4, business for the Council meeting of the 2nd of April 2025. A. Questions. The list of members having been given a slot has been uploaded on the website of LegCo. Please take note of it. B. Government bills. First reading and second reading. Debate to be adjourned. 1. Firearms and Ammunition Amendment Bill 2025. 2. Import and Export Amendment Bill 2025. The House Committee will deal with these bills on the meeting on the 11th of April. Government motion. No notice has been received yet. D. Members' motion. 1. Motion on enhancing the handling of non-refoulement claims moved by Mr. Lai Tong Kwok. And 2. Motion on enhancing the measures on the importation of manpower moved by Mr. Peter Shield. The wording of these 2 motions has been uploaded online. The deadline for moving amendments is the 26th of March, Wednesday. 26th of March, Wednesday. Agenda item number 5. Reports of bills, committees and subcommittees. Bills Committee on Ozone Layer Protection Amendment Bill 2024. Please refer to paper CB Brackets 1425/2025. I now invite Mr. Chen Siu-Hong to report the bill. Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill seeks to amend the Ozone Layer Protection Amendment Bill 2024. Well, the ordinance and its subsidiary legislation to implement the Kigali Amendment to the 1987 Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer, to strengthen regulation on the production and consumption of 18 hydrofluorocarbons, that is HFCs, with high global warming potential GWP, and reduce their use. The Bills Committee held 2 meetings and discussed a number of matters, including the progress of amending the ordinance, phase-down schedules for scheduled GFCs, HFCs, import quota arrangements, registration of importers and exporters, penalties for the relevant offenses, as well as the training arrangements for technicians. Having considered members' views, the administration has proposed to move amendments to remove the reference to continuing offense in order to prevent imposing excessive punishments on those who have practical difficulties providing the records. The Bills Committee has no objection to this amendment. We won't move any amendment. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill. The administration proposed to resume the second reading debate on the bill at this council meeting on the 2nd of April. The Bills Committee raised no objection. The details of the discussion of the Bills Committee are set out in the report. Madam Chair, please take note of it. Thank you, Mr. Chen. If no members want to speak, the second reading debate of this bill will resume at the council meeting on the 2nd of April. If member would like to move amendments, the deadline is the 24th of March, Monday. The 24th of March, Monday. Agenda item number 6, position on bills committees and subcommittees. As at the 20th of March, Thursday, there were in action 9 bills committees, 9 subcommittees under the House Committee, 3 subcommittees on policy issues formed under panels, and 4 subcommittees on policy issues on the waiting list. Agenda item number 7, any other business? There being no any other business, meeting adjourned. Thank you, members.